Hey everybody, this is Dr. Alex here. I wanted to jump on this video to talk about surviving the holiday season without compromising your health. It's a pretty crazy time going through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, lots of parties, lots of drinking, lots of food that's not part of your diet. And there's a way to approach that process gracefully and enjoy it, enjoying the traditions, um, relax, allow yourself to participate while still kind of gliding through and staying true to your values. So, we're going to go through a little presentation here, how to survive the holidays without compromising your health. Everything that we do, everything that we teach is designed around the 4 pillars of holistic healing. And it's no different with this presentation. We want to look at these 4 fundamental pillars. This is the way that we know that we're really approaching the body truly holistically. So sorry about that. So we want to look at getting the toxins out of the body, out of the cells and tissues, supporting the body nutritionally with its needs so that it can function properly, supporting the self-healing mechanisms, we call that vitality, that's living in harmony with nature, and then supporting the mind-body connection, which is oftentimes the deepest root of healing. So we're going to look at the best practices for surviving the holidays through these pillars. Okay, we're going to start with nutrition. So this is the time for tofurkeys, right? And we don't recommend trying to eat around your food intolerance or your dietary restrictions on a holiday with things like tofurkeys. Completely unnatural and unnecessary. And unless you're following a strict diet, let's say, where you don't want to eat meat for some reason, then I would recommend just skip it altogether. Don't try to mimic eating a turkey that's vegan. If you don't want to eat meat, then don't eat meat. But don't substitute for something fake. There's tons of examples of this when you look at food that's out there. Earth balanced butter, for example. Look at the ingredients in this product. All these vegetable oils, extremely toxic, natural flavors, pea protein, lactic acid, which is dairy oftentimes. So this non-dairy butter is still dairy and is filled with toxic oils to replace the butter. Another example is this gluten-free stuffing from Trader Joe's. We have non-fat milk powder in here, brown sugar, canola oil, gums, chicken natural flavors, soybean oil. Terrible, terrible for you. We harp over and over about how important it is to know your food intolerance, and that is a huge part of being able to identify what foods and products are good for you. And knowing your food intolerance, even going into Thanksgiving, when you're served a buffet of food, a lot of which is out of your control, it's really useful to know your food intolerance, because then you can make choices that are more in alignment with what your body needs. But if you're dairy intolerant, it's better to just eat butter than eat this crap. If you're trying to avoid gluten, it'd be better to just eat good stuffing with good bread than eat this crap. You're celebrating a holiday. It's one day out of the year. We count Thanksgiving. Maybe you have another meal during Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or New Year's or any celebration during that time, it only comes around once or twice a year. So better to eat the real thing, even if it is your food intolerance, than substitute it with some crap. Because this is not, even if you're avoiding your intolerance, this is not good for you. Might as well just enjoy it. Enjoy the real food, enjoy real butter, enjoy real stuffing, and don't make these crazy substitutions. If you know your intolerance, maybe you don't get so many mashed potatoes if you know you're potato intolerant. Maybe you don't get potato gratin if you're dairy intolerant that's smothered in cheese. Maybe you do. You can make that choice and enjoy the holiday meal without any guilt, because that's what the time is. So the overall message with the nutritional pillar is eat real food and enjoy it and have gratitude for it. And what that means is enjoy every bite of it. Enjoy the fact that your grandmother made this amazing meal, that your family's together, even if your grandma is using crap ingredients. I know my grandmother did because she wanted to get the cheapest thing possible, but it was made with love. It was at grandmother's house. So slow down, breathe, enjoy every bite. And that will make the food so much more nourishing and digestible for you than isolating yourself from the table, eating a bunch of crazy substituted things and not participating in the meal with everyone else, and making substitutions that have bad ingredients. Okay? Pillar number 2, detox. So I call this the holiday or traveling supplement trifecta. I use this a lot in my own life. This is super beneficial to me. And the trifecta includes 3 different supplements: a digestive support, a binder, and a bowel mover. So I recommend getting one or all of these 3 supplements to make the trifecta. So let's talk about them a little bit. So the first one is digestive support. A big aspect of being able to absorb your food, not have crazy bloating and constipation, and be able to digest and eliminate properly is having good digestive function. And that starts from the top down. So when you're eating a big meal at a holiday and it's filled with ingredients that you probably don't even know what's in there because someone else prepared it, it's off of your diet, it's really helpful to give yourself some support with that. This is good to do anyways, but definitely when you're traveling, you're eating off your diet, you're eating at a friend's or family's house. So a few basic things you can do here. Apple cider vinegar, very easy, readily available. Little splash in like 4 or 8 ounces of water. Take it down before meals. That will get the digestive juices flowing, which is going to help you to digest the meal. Number 2, bitters. There's many forms of bitters. You can find these liquid Swedish bitters at Whole Foods. You can get bitters capsules as well. But bitters are the same concept as apple cider vinegar. If you think about a bitter taste and you put it in your mouth, it makes you salivate. That's what it does in your stomach. It makes your stomach salivate. So it gets the juices going, which helps the whole digestive process to move forward smoothly. So you can get some bitters at the grocery store. Also, hydrochloric acid or other digestive support like enzymes. Hydrochloric acid is produced by your stomach. Enzymes are produced by your pancreas. This is one of our favorite products, Zypan by Standard Process. This is on Fullscript. You can get it on Amazon. You can see here it has betaine hydrochloride, that's hydrochloric acid, plus pancreas, pepsin and pancreatin, which are enzymes that are in the stomach and pancreas. So this is a really nice formula. There's many available. You can get hydrochloric acid tablets at your local health food store or Whole Foods. You can get enzymes at those places as well. And you can really load up on these things. I mean, with Zypan or hydrochloric acid or enzymes, you can take 4, 5, 6 even or more at a meal, especially if it's a big meal. You can take them throughout the day. So I'll take a thing of Zypan or some other enzyme formula and I'll pound them if I'm going to be eating a ton of food and I don't even know where it's coming from or what's in there. Just pound them like 6 capsules. And it's not going to hurt you. The most that you're going to feel if you take too much hydrochloric acid is a little burning. And if you feel that, back off and no problem, no harm, no foul. So I would just support the whole process. You can even do multiple of these things. You can take a little apple cider vinegar and then some enzymes. Use these tools to help you to digest as smoothly as possible. That's going to decrease the bloating. It's going to decrease the fullness. It's going to help your body to actually break down all of that food. It's going to make you feel a lot better later that day and into the next day. One thing that people will easily reach for when they're full and bloated is Tums, or they're getting acid reflux. Tums give you temporary relief, but they're going to really compromise your entire digestive system because what they're doing is they're going to neutralize all your stomach acid. The reason why you have acid reflux is because you don't have enough stomach acid. So what that does is that the food then sits in your stomach because your stomach's not going to release the food until it's digested and broken down enough to go to the next stage of digestion. So if it's sitting in your stomach, it's going to be fermenting. That's going to create gas. That's what fermentation does. It creates gas. And that gas is going to create pressure and open up your esophageal sphincter that's separating your stomach, which is doing all that churning with the stomach acid, from your esophagus. And if that opens up, you're going to get acid reflux. So it may seem that if you get acid reflux, you have too much stomach acid. It's actually the opposite. And Tums is just going to neutralize the little stomach acid you have, which is going to give you temporary relief, but it's going to compromise your whole digestive system in the process. So it's better to actually support the digestive juices and the stomach acid with bitters, apple cider vinegar, hydrochloric acid tablets. That's going to prevent acid reflux from occurring, or at least decrease it, and allow the rest of digestion to go on smoothly. Because if you maldigest food in the stomach, the whole process down below is going to be compromised. That's going to cause a lot of bloating and other things down the line. So you want to break down your food at the top of the system as much as possible. So that's digestive support. That's a mainstay for traveling and holidays and going out to eat at a restaurant, going to a friend's house. Number 2 is a binder. When you eat food that's off your diet or you overeat, that's going to maldigest some food. That's expected, and that's going to create toxins in the digestive tract, which is going to create inflammation. This is also very much the case when you drink too much as well. That's the reason why you get a hangover. And during a holiday, during a celebration, we're eating and drinking. So there's going to be some toxic metabolites that are going to go into the digestive tract. So it's helpful to get a binder in there to help to eliminate those toxins properly, to bind up those toxins. That's going to prevent getting a hangover to a large degree. It's going to prevent having bad bowel movements the next day or feeling even nauseous. Some people will feel some nausea. All that's caused by toxins that are in your digestive tract. So 2 of the mainstay binders are activated charcoal and bentonite clay. You can get these at Whole Foods, health food store very easily. I really like the bentonite liquid because you can just take it straight. It's very smooth. It doesn't taste like anything. It's very soothing on the gut. You could take 1/4 a cup breakfast and dinner, or when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed, especially when you go to bed after a long day of eating and drinking. You could take it in the next morning. Activated charcoal, same thing. I would do it in the morning when rising before you go to bed. It's on full script. It's at Whole Foods, local health food store. So these are great binders. If you're intolerant to fruit, charcoal is derived from coconut, so you go with a bentonite. So this is number 2. And then number 3 is a bowel mover. If you don't have problems with constipation, sometimes people have the opposite problem with diarrhea. The binders will really help with that because that'll slow down the process. When you have diarrhea, your body's trying to rid itself of toxins. So these binders will bind those toxins and make them easier to eliminate. That should actually help the diarrhea. But if you have the opposite problem, which is the case with many people, they travel, they eat off their diet, they get constipated. And that's going to create a lot of toxicity in the system and a lot of fullness and discomfort. So if you have that problem, I recommend taking a bowel mover or a laxative. The best one is Cascara sagrada. Very effective, very easy herb that's well tolerated. It's safe. You can get it at Whole Foods, as you can see here. You can get it at in many places. Aged Cascara sagrada is what you want to look for. You can take a capsule when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed. And you might have to do that, a few days in a row to get things moving, but this will really help to get things moving along. You can kind of work up to 2 capsules. Start off with 1 capsule, then go up to 2 if you need it. Smooth Move tea, very readily available. You can do 1-2 tea bags. You can do this daily just to get things going. It has senna in it, which is more of a stimulant. I like Cascara sagrada better, but this one probably has senna. It might have cascara in there, other herbs to get things flowing. It's no problem to use these things, in the short term just to help this process. I use Cascara sagrada myself. I think it's great. When I'm traveling, when I'm eating off my diet, I tend to get backed up. You can also go with something like magnesium. Calm magnesium is a classic for moving the bowels because it has a lot of magnesium citrate, which kind of creates like a laxative effect. It brings a lot of water into the digestive system. So you can take it at night before going to bed. It tends to help sleeping as well and to calm the nervous system. But really any magnesium will do this. Calm is probably the most classic for actually moving the bowels, but magnesium will help to relax the colon and get things moving along. So recommend a bowel mover as well. This is number 3, not 2. So that's the trifecta: digestive support, binder, and bowel mover. Also in detox, next recommendation is Detox Routine. We recommend this for everybody all the time. And it's no different when you're traveling for the holidays. You can do this in a couple ways. If you just have a one-off holiday party, then use these routines the next day to get yourself back to baseline. I love using these routines, particularly coffee enemas, when I'm feeling bloated and kind of yucky after going out to eat, drinking a little bit too much wine, going to grandma's, not eating my diet. Next day I do a coffee enema, I feel so much better. You could do enemas, you could do castor oil packs, working on the same idea. It's bringing blood flow to your abdomen with castor oil, which is kind of like a blood mover. It's kind of like a skin irritant, so it turns your skin red, which is bringing blood flow to your skin. And that reflexes to the rest of your digestive system down below. So the way a castor oil pack works is you spread castor oil in a thin film along a cloth pad like this, put it over your abdomen with a hot water bottle. That heat in the castor oil is going to bring blood flow to your liver, your digestive tract. That's going to help to move things along. It's going to help to support your liver, which is definitely burdened when you're eating off of your diet. It's going to help to regulate your bowel movements. So coffee enemas and castor oil packs are great for detoxing, helping your liver, helping your digestive system, and you can travel with them. I know when I travel back home for the holidays, I'm bringing my coffee enema kit because I'm going to be there for 2 to 3 weeks. I can bring my kit. You can use, if you don't have your good, clean enema coffee, you can use good, clean, organic coffee and just roast it in a French press or even just a pot on the stove. Castor oil pack, you can bring the pack easily. If you can't travel on a plane with the castor oil, either bring a small travel bottle of the castor oil, or you can just buy a little bottle at your local health food store. So I would travel with these things and use them through the holidays. Why not if you're going to be eating off of your diet for a couple weeks? Another easy one is Epsom salt baths. You can do these after, the day after a party. You can do these when you're traveling easily. You can do these in a hotel room. You can pick up a small container of Epsom salts and easily do this. And Epsom salts are going to help your digestive system. They're going to relax your nervous system with the magnesium, because that's what Epsom salts are. They're magnesium sulfate. So this helps to get the blood flowing, move the bowels. 3 easy detox routines that you can do at home the next day or bring with you while you're traveling. Okay? Detox. Pillar 3 is vitality. During the holidays, you're going to be off your routines. Nothing wrong with that. You're going to be off your exercise schedule, off your routine. A lot of family time, traveling, parties, eating, drinking. One thing that you can do, no matter where you are in the world, is a daily walk outside. Fresh air, sunlight, get in nature, ground. During the colder months, instead of taking off your feet and putting them on the bare earth, which is what we recommend for grounding, touch a tree. Just put your hands against the tree trunk. You could hug a tree. Highly recommend. Or put your hands on the tree, which is getting your bare skin on nature, connected to the earth. Beautiful, regulating, easy practice where you're getting light, you're getting fresh air, you can clear your mind. If it's getting stuffy at home while you're, at your parents' place, a lot of people, go outside and take a walk. I would do this every day, no matter what. No matter what's going on with your daily routines, you can always do this. And then the last pillar is mind-body. The holidays give you a very unique opportunity to address old patterns with your family. Ram Dass, famous spiritual leader, said, if you think you're so enlightened, go spend a week with your family, which is such a great, accurate statement. Why is our family so triggering to us? Because a lot of our false belief systems that were laid down when we were kids. And our parents and our siblings still treat us like we're kids. They still treat us like our younger self. And even if we've grown and evolved, it's very easy to get trapped in old patterns with your family. In my experience, in my own life, and in people that I work with, a lot of people have a feeling like, well, maybe this year it's going to be different. Maybe this year I'm going to go home and I'm not going to get in that fight with my dad. It's not going to be so tense at the meal the whole time with my sister or my brother-in-law. And the fact is, things don't tend to change. We can't expect other people in our life that have been doing the same unconscious behavior patterns to suddenly change. So our family triggers us in a deep way that's unique to most relationships in our life. And because of that, the ability to use it as a therapeutic tool to go deeper in yourself is very great, even though it's very challenging. I think the best practice for working on difficult relationships is radical forgiveness. This book was written by Colin Tipping. The basis of this book is that every person in our life that challenges us is a gift to call attention to the parts in ourselves that are wounded and need healing. That's what difficult relationships do. If we're not in a victim mentality, which is very easy to do when you have a very difficult relationship with someone who's very unconscious, it's very difficult to be a victim of that relationship and blame the person for your suffering and unhappiness because they're so unconscious. But if we're living a more holistic, a more spiritually oriented life and path, we have to take responsibility for our own emotional state, which requires healing that relationship for ourselves and not waiting for the other person to change. And that's where the whole idea of radical forgiveness comes in. We can forgive people in our life through a deeper understanding of what they are teaching us. What wound are they pouring salt in for us? What button are they clicking for us? They are just a vehicle for us to play out our old patterns. And that's our responsibility to understand those patterns. So Colin Tipping developed this idea of the radical forgiveness worksheet, which is a way to transform our understanding of our relationship with other people. And without reading the book, you can do this exercise. It's like a series of journaling exercises. So you can just Google the radical forgiveness worksheet and find PDFs of these prompts, this page. And you can just do this worksheet as journaling prompts in a journal. Reading the book definitely gives you a lot of context. And if you have some travel plans coming up for the holidays, it can be useful to get this book. I'm sure you can find it on an audiobook as well. It's a really optimistic, beautiful way to transform difficult situations, relationships, and even just bad things that have happened to us. But a lot of that comes back to our family, right? Which is why we're talking about it related to holidays, because if we think about health and how to navigate the holidays in a peaceful manner without resistance, we have to address this mind-body stuff with our family, because so much of our old patterns are triggered with our family. Even just journaling about difficult relationships without the worksheet, you can just journal about any difficult relationship you have and ask the question, what is this person trying to teach me? What wound is this person triggering in me that's my wound? And just do that. And you can journal about that and reflect on that. And the beautiful, cool thing about this process is when you change your perspective about a relationship, the relationship transforms without the other person changing. Just in your change in thought and change in energy that you're giving off to the person, they will respond to that in an unconscious way. And whole relationships can transform without even having a conversation with the person trying to hash out anything. So it's cool to play with this, to do your own work on this leading up to a difficult situation, a family party or an obligation that you have to attend. And seeing if your change in perspective can change the relationship. Go easy on yourself. If you're not able to get there and you still get caught in the same patterns, that's fine. Your job is just to then try to recognize them as much as possible and learn from them. And even if you move little bit, make a little progress every year, you're on the path to transforming that relationship and healing yourself. And that's really what it's all about, is healing your own stuff, which the relationship is just manifesting. Okay? So a summary of these 5 practices to navigate the holidays using the 4 pillars. Number 1, nutrition. Eat real food and be grateful for it and enjoy it. Number 2, detox. Think about ordering or acquiring the supplement trifecta to help your digestive system bind toxins in your gut, keep your bowels moving. Number 3, detoxification, doing those routines to help mitigate the toxicity that's bound to happen when you're eating off of your diet and overeating and drinking. Number 4, vitality, going on that daily walk. And 5, the radical forgiveness worksheet and working on those deep-seated patterns with our deeper family relationships. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And please reach out to us if you have any questions, comments, or any perspective on how this worked for you.